It is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. On the return, Corey Ballantyne. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
On the return, the Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Carry for Nick Chubb, and he'll work this one up to about the 38. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. A run for Nick Chubb. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
He's tackled at the 40.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Play fake. Bridgewater. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. They run. Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
10 at the 35-yard line.
They'll run here with Ballage. And unable able to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. You credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Well, the 2nd down throw on target. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Now Ballard. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Bridgewater. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Here's Bridgewater. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Davion Taylor in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Another 3 and out.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Hardman on the return. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Their own 42-yard line.
Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On play action, Wentz. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
At the 41-yard
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that have a little extra pep in their step, you go to them early and often.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
.30-yard line, 2nd and 12. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They run it with Balaj. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked. And
he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Kalen Balaj, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Bridgewater. Looking deep for Hilton. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
and 7 yards to go.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing, Bridgewater. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From just shy of midfield, Bridgewater trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Balazs. He's got the first down here inside the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Play action. Now Wentz. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll be brought down with the first down after a gain of about 11 as that takes us to the 2-minute warning.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
14-yard line.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
2nd and 5.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Wentz. And he's got the hook up to Ruggs. And the Steelers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Steelers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
Gain of 5.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Kalen Ballage, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run.
Tackle made at the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 6.
So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So time for the 2nd half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. Now this will make it into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A good balanced attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
And it really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is finally out of bounds all the way down at the 30. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 48 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. That's complete. Okuegbunam. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Taken down by
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Again, it's Ballage. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Henry Ruggs, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. That is caught at the 7. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Watch quick. Watch the flag. Grade 15. Grade 15.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
The tackle by Jeff.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Throwing is Bridgewater. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Davion Taylor able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Throwing on first is Wentz. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since.
56 right there.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
From the 22, Wentz, and he's got it, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Henry Ruggs, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6.
Makes the score Steelers 28, Ravens 6. Tucker McCann set to kick off.
McCann's got it teed up. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On play action, it's Bridgewater. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Here's Bridgewater. And he finds Tyler Croft. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
Complete.
14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
4th down.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
He's brought down.
Brandon, I got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hole.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Now a handoff looking right. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Steelers. First and 10 at the...
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset from the 32 now. Here's first and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Kalen Ballage, 32 yards. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
At the 20-yard line.
They run it again with Chubb. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Well, defensively with this lead in the fourth quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
On the carry, it's Chubb. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Chubb. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
Tonight,
they've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to them.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Steelers, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year.
And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for the Ravens,